Welcome to the after party of our Paris performance. I'm Justin.
I'm Nick.
And we're just going to chat with you guys about the experience, what took place, how we got there. And so I guess I'll just start off by saying, Nick, I had an idea to have this show in Paris, and you helped me facilitate it really quickly.
Very quickly,
Tell me how that first phone call went when I called you and we made it happen.
Well, first of all, I said we're going to Paris, which is crazy enough,
Let's go.
right? We got to go to one of the best cities in the world. And then
But making that happen during quarantine, obviously.
Yeah, that was difficult, but we had to follow all the proper procedures. We really didn't know we were going till 2 days before.
Yep.
So we had this idea in play, and we were trying to get it done. We were scared it wasn't going to get done for a second, but the team pulled through and got all the COVID procedures done. Everyone's tested, and we got to go out there. Yeah,
that was
awesome.
Really
cool, man. What actually inspired you to want to do this in Paris at a specific time?
Man, so for me, Paris has been one of my favorite places, and we hadn't had the chance to travel, and I was like, my wife was going over to Paris for a gig of some sort. I think she was doing a magazine. Welcome to the after party of our Paris performance. I'm Justin.
Yeah,
I'm
Nick.
And we're just going to chat with you guys about I wanted to throw something together that was overlooking the Eiffel Tower. And we did one performance where we were actually on the Eiffel Tower, which was sick. But I wanted to have, I had a vision of just this performance overlooking the Eiffel Tower. And I brought it to your attention. I was like, what do you think? And you were like, yo, let's do it. And you just threw together so quickly. This is what I love about you. Bro, you're so you're waiting for ideas because you have so many ideas in your brain. So you're always just I feel like you're just always ready for someone to hit you with something.
A challenge.
Yeah, with a challenge. So so what does that look like for you, I guess? When I hit you with that idea, how did you turn that over so quickly? And I guess
it's crazy because you'll be like, yo, we're gonna shoot. We should do this hotel. I want it to be I think your initial direction for me was I want it to be different rooms. I don't want it to just be one place. We could have stayed on the roof the whole time, but we got a little bored after 4 songs, right? Yeah. So that's when for me, I just go to your music immediately, right? So Unstable, for instance, right? I'm listening to that song and we talked about it, and it's in those moments in life where you feel not in control, and who knows what happens to certain people in those moments. I just thought of a trashed hotel room, a bad night, and that's what that creative came to me. I'm like, okay, we need the living room from here. I want to tilt the lamps over. There's little balls and food, room service all over the room, and stuff like that. And it was that's when I start to get creative with each song. You know what I mean?
I love that.
Yeah.
And the lighting was so good. What inspired the lighting? Because it made it look super it's one thing to shoot in a space, but to make it look really cool the way you did it.
Yeah, I wanted it I wanted it to feel cinematic, especially once we got inside, just to give a little dynamic change from outside. We had already a lot of natural light, sunset. It's magic, can't pay for that, right? And then inside I just wanted to also give each song its own life, you know what I mean? When we did Off My Face, it was very blue and red, real dramatic, and then being outside was just the moonlighting for Too Much. And
so cool.
Yeah, I don't know, I just chose Amber for Unstable because it looked really good.
So sweet.
Yeah.
So maybe mood-wise, right? Explain, because a lot of people they feel it, but they don't know why they feel it. So that maybe explain to them why the amber makes you feel moody. I don't know.
Well, especially for even Off My Face, right? Remember when I was just okay, we had a hotel room to work with, right? We were very restricted on where we could have shot in Paris and all those things, right? So. And then I came to you, I was like, yo, why not the bathroom? Which isn't a place you would want to go technically, but with the song Off My Face, it's got this inspired by in a weird flip that we talked about. Remember of being when I'm off my face, you would be in the bathroom just trying to fix your life before you exit to go back into a party or back to the real world. So that's why we went in there, and I needed it to be dark and grimy but still visual and beautiful. So that's when we went with that blue lighting. We shot that red light behind the window, so when you tilt it onto the window, we see your silhouette. you know, and then lit the whole hallway out into the balcony. But that was like the concept there, and that's why I chose that type of mood lighting. And it's just, I love when you're like stumbling through the hall, like when you put your arm up on that moment, like it is sold, it sells it, you know, that's the story. And I love when you say that, because people will feel that, but they won't know like why they felt it. But that's like the depths of our thought process when we're putting something like that together, you know.
And like I'm also thinking about those all being one takers. Like Nick walked me through every single shot, all had everything queued up. Like you walk with the director, you help the director find the shot. Like that's a lot of what you do, and like you're a tastemaker. So like explain like maybe how you got into that and why you like to make cool stuff. I don't know.
Well, yeah, man, I started off dancing and performing, you know, obviously, if you guys know, you know, and then choreographing. And I think for me, I just felt like I thought I had really great ideas, and I wanted control over the entire performance, not being told to choreograph someone else's vision, which could be tough sometimes if you're not inspired by it. But if you're inspired by the creative, you'll choreograph it great, and you'll direct it great. You know what I mean? Because you're in control of that. But yeah, man, I don't know. It's weird. People always ask me all the time, like, how do you come up with these things? I really sometimes I sit and I think I'm you, or I'm like, what would I want to do here in this moment if I could sing, which I can't, you know? So like, it's like, how would I want to be portrayed right here, right now? And then, you know, obviously, and then getting your opinion on those things and us collabing and what you're feeling in the moment. And then I think trusting each other in the process. Like, I feel like we've worked together for a long time now, and we're good at saying even no to each other, which I think makes us better. You know what I mean? I could bring you something, you could say no, and I could be like cool with it and like go figure something else out, and you could do the same to me, you know. I think that's what helps us. But yeah, I was growing up watching all these musicals and studying everything and trying to implement what I've learned, and also making it new and fresh at the same time.
I love that. Can you maybe tell what's your favorite musical of all time?
It's a tie between West Side Story and Grease.
Wow.
And I think those are just like, they're all great, but those are like super substantial in my life. Like the dancing in West Side Story, but like the story of Grease. I think my mom had owned Grease, and I would just play it all the time. That's what's crazy, you know.
That's fine.
But yeah. And then also like watching like Fred Astaire and Charlie Chaplin. Like these guys back in the day were choreographers, directors, and producers. You know, they had to do it all back then, and that's I thought that was so crazy, and I've always been wanting to do that. That's why I think I wanted to move into like creative and directing and choreographing and combining it all, you know.
You're freaking unbelievable at what you do.
You're unbelievable at what you do. You make me look good.
It's cool because like I feel like we just complement each other so well, because you are talented in ways that I'm not, and I'm talented in ways that you're not, and when we work together, like we're able to make really, really cool stuff. And yeah, man, it's cool.
How'd it feel for you? Like, I always wonder, like, from your perspective, because I always know what it feels like from my perspective. You know how rushed we went to Paris, the fact that we got there, we filmed it, and then it was done, and like, wow, look how it came out. And I mean, I love the way it came out, and like, I wonder, like, what. Even like your reaction of like, okay, we did it, we shot it, like.
For me, it literally, like, from what I told you, the idea, it came out better than I could have expected, and so like I was just blown away by it.
That's the best thing. There's been a few things we've done like where you have the idea and you know what it's gonna come out like, you know, but then those moments when it's like, wow, that's like, better than I thought. You know, and the team in Paris really helped us, like, tremendously. I remember being on the flight, still sending emails, like, setting. And we went, like, all the way across the country. They had 2 days to give us, like, gear, music, a rehearsal space, like...
1 day to set up.
One day to set up, and then 1 day to just shoot it.
1 day to shoot. Yeah. And they were full one takers, so it's like, I just, you know, it was either that I was ready and gave it my all, or, like, it was just it. And luckily, it's we're just a bunch of professionals, and we've been doing this, and we're so seasoned at this point that it is kind of second nature.
I think there's a lot of planning. I think how fast it came together too is what made it special, because a lot of like it's crazy when like mistakes work, almost not even mistakes, but what's not supposed to happen happens. You know what I mean? Like originally we weren't even gonna go to the window, and you were going to the window, and then we went out the window with the camera, and the next thing you know, you see the Paris skyline. We were like. we weren't even planning.
So I wasn't supposed to go to the window.
You could go to the window, but like just to the sky, and then
and then
he just kept going, and then we were like, keep going, keep going, keep going, and then like it's the skyline of Paris, you know, like that's so money shot, you know, like.
I love that.
It's cool, yeah. I know we're just sitting here, but it's our entire team that helps all this.
It is.
Too. Yeah,
it is.
100%. Yeah.
Teamwork makes a dream work. I'm glad you guys enjoyed. That was the Paris show. This is Nikki D. I'm Justin Bieber, and we'll see you next time.
Peace.
Sweet.